Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy. As always, Noelle is in the background there doing the graphics, working our cameras for us. Hello, I love discounts. And good morning, Southern Charm. I saw you in here, two peas in a pod. Sabrina, hello, everybody. Allison, good morning. So, mix and sell today, mix and chat. What do we call this? The morning mix. It has been one heck of a week, you guys, already. So we're just going to hang out. Good morning, Lake Erie Vintage. We're going to hang out. There's some stuff in the bin. There's some items in the auction tab. There are coupon codes, or there rewards cards numbers actually in the show notes. And I want to talk about those a little bit this morning because I'm kind of like, I don't know what the right word is, inspired, encouraged. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. And other than that, I've got a topic or two. But you guys, if you have any questions, let's make this like an Ask Me Anything. If you have questions, throw it in there. We will, I'll try to answer them. If I can't, I am sure somebody in the chat can. Tell me before I start work. Oh, tell you now before you start work. I love discounts. All right, we'll talk about it a little bit. So for those of you who, good morning, Daisy Lane. And good morning, Keeper of the Memories. I love that name. For those of you who may be new to me or have not seen them on your like rewards cards, what the heck are you talking about? So we have these cards. These are Zoe's Treasures rewards cards. There are 9 of them. And we have 9 each quarter. So we just ordered our other ones. In 2 weeks, we'll roll out our next set of 9. There'll be different colors and there'll be 10 through 18, I guess is the numbering. And every time a package goes out of leaves our business here, we throw a card in here. And each card is worth $2. So on the back of these cards, I'm going to cover it up, but on the back, there is a coupon code and some instructions. And so every card itself, that coupon code is worth $2. He keeps talking to me. I told him, y'all, we're gonna rabbit trail. Y'all, if you work with your spouse, God bless you. I feel your pain if you work with your spouse because this man is the love of my life, and I want to strangle him every single day. Just during shows, because he'll talk to me. Try working with Tony. He talks to me, but he doesn't talk. He just like I'm a lip reader. And every show, we do a debrief. And every show I say, I can't read your lips. Use the whiteboard.
Keep the cards. Don't throw them away because later on in the year, there'll be combinations of those codes for bigger discounts.
Thank you. I was getting there. All right. So what I was saying, each card is worth $2. And then every show, if you check the show notes, mine hijacked my show last week showing his sports items. You love him anyway, though. I know. We love them. But at the same time, they get a little annoying. Thank you so much. So every show, I'm going to get through this one way or another. Every show, in the show notes, I put 2 card numbers. If you combine those numbers in the order, you get $5 off for that show. Well, next quarter, so starting April 1st, next quarter, on occasional shows, I'm going to put 3 card numbers in there. And those 3 card numbers are going to be worth like $10 off. So it's always worth checking the show notes and seeing what cards you have, because they can be combined in different ways for different dollar off, like, so you get more and more. Anyways, I thought this was really cool. This is our reward system. But what I'm inspired by is that we now have 2 other people who are in their setup stages of creating their own cards. So I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe I started a little bit of a trend. I'm going to say 3 people is a trend. So we're going with it because it makes me feel good. So we have somebody in the toy category, mainly focuses on Star Wars toys. A good friend, somebody my husband purchases from all the time. They're creating their cards, and then it's a trend. And then I know I Love Discounts, hopefully I'm not spilling your secrets, is working on something of their own too. So I'm kind of excited about this. Maybe we can kind of make this, far reaching. There you go. I Love Discounts. She's doing some type of a charm bracelet concept. I didn't want to say it out loud. I knew what it was, but I didn't want to say it out loud just in case it wasn't ready to be made public information yet. So if you guys like the idea, you're more than welcome to take the idea. I know last week on our podcast, we talked about imitate or innovate. This is one of those ideas that I don't care if it's imitated. I think it's cool as long as it's not done exactly in the same manner. See, I think imitation's okay if you take the idea and make it better, change it in a way, make it yours, right? We talked about this on Monday, so I'm not going to go all over it again. But that's exactly what these people are doing. They've seen the concept and they're like, this is really cool. This can work for our business, but we can change it and make it very unique to us, but kind of the same concept. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what I Love Discounts comes up with. I just knew the charm bracelet idea. I don't know a lot of details about it, so I am kind of anxiously awaiting to see that. It may make me want to go buy more costume jewelry, even though I don't wear a lot of jewelry. I may just buy it just so I can get cards. It is now. It does take some thought if it's something you guys are going to do. And I did this in replace of wherever it is up here, usually, with the crown. I didn't like that reward system particularly very much. So that's why I came up with this one. And what's great about this? Here's the good thing about this reward system. Good morning, the Vintage Gypsy Bree. What is so great about this, particularly if you're a seller? Okay, we're pros and cons on both sides. So if you're a seller, one, these cards, you brand them. They have your logo on them. People are keeping them. So they're looking at your logo over and over. So brand recognition is a number one, pro for this. The other pros are that just because you're like, oh man, that's a lot of coupons. That's going to cost me a lot of money. Just the fact that you give a coupon code, I'm letting you know all my secrets here. Just because you give a coupon code doesn't mean that people are going to use it. Throw in the chat, how many times have you not used a coupon code? You forgot to use the coupon code. You lost the card. You just didn't remember it was there. I Love Discounts every single time, several. I know I forget to use them a lot of the time. So just because you give the card doesn't mean it's necessarily that you're going to lose that money or people are going to use it. However, when you get a coupon code, when somebody gives you like, hey, thank you so much, here's some money off for a future purchase, there's an instant goodwill feeling. It creates good emotion in the person receiving it, whether they use it or not. And it's a double good emotion when they do use it. So you're creating a good feeling, you're advertising your business, and if not everybody's going to use them, so you're not going to lose a ton of money. I put every show, there's coupon codes down there, every show worth $5 off. Maybe one or two people per show, maybe in my shows. I use mine unless I'm not at home when you're on. There you go, Monster Moment. I've seen you use yours. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I Love Discounts. So to me, it's a win-win all the way around. And it's a never-ending, well, I don't want to say never-ending. There are limits to everything. But you can combine the codes in different ways, different dollar amounts, so you can create one thing and then you can come up with different ideas and ways to use them throughout the year. So I thought it was a brilliant idea that I would love to take credit for, but it was actually all my husband's. I actually said that. I actually just gave him credit for that.
Oh boy.
I'm gamifying the Red Chat. Taking Red Chat best offers on select items. Are you really, Eye for Beauty? I like that. I've been thinking, I just told my husband before this show started, I have an idea for a show that I think I'm going to do. I don't want to give up the idea, but it's kind of along those lines, but it doesn't use Red Chat at all. But it's kind of a gamifying. So there may be a new type of show I might roll out one weekday morning here. I seem to like the morning hours better. Like I just wake up, come to a show, and I don't know, when I have shows at night, I feel like the whole day I'm I'm thinking about the show versus let's just do the show and then I go on with the rest of my day. Anybody here do overnight shows like in the middle of the night? I need my sleep. I'm never awake. I'm rarely awake at 2 or 3. Anybody here run shows? You tried Eye for Beauty? I get up sometimes and there are consistent people on it like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, God bless you guys. I applaud you. I am not nearly awake enough. 7 a.m. is kind of early. Oh, I just scratched myself. I wouldn't be coherent. That's right. I would be up here like in my pajamas, my hair like this. And yeah, You're a morning person. I lose steam by the end of the day too. That's why I like my 7 a.m. slot that when I do my shows. First thing in the morning, get it done. You know what? I am at that age that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I need my coffee, and usually around 1 o'clock, I need a nap. I work from home. I can't say I necessarily go take a nap, but I am like perfecting power naps. I'm getting really good at it. The older I get, the better I get at power naps. And my husband's like giving me and rolling his eyes like, oh. And that is why Noelle needs to be the fourth person on the podcast. That's right. Let me tell you, is it okay? I love discounts. Can we announce who's going to be on the podcast? Noelle told me who confirmed. Are we good to announce this? I'm on overnight raid train, but my time, 5 a.m. I may be able to swing 5 a.m. Lake Erie Vintage. I see you on pretty early. Naps make you more grumpy. I don't know if we can announce it. So we are going to have a guest. We can? Okay. So we got a thumbs up. So Sunday night, 6:30 p.m., Reselling Roundtable. This is our podcast. We do Zoe's Treasures, I Love Discounts, and Green 13. We come together. We do a podcast. It is similar to a Whatnot Chat. It's on YouTube. You can ask questions, so it's live. We try to be as responsive as we can to the chat. We're on for 2 hours, 6:30 to 8:30 every Sunday evening. We are coming up to episode 9, which is it scheduled? I don't see you have it. Episode 9. What's our topic this week? Episode 9. Schedule it or wing it is going to be our topic this week. It's going to be the 4 of us, but the week after, so episode 10, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, Jeremy, Green 13, and myself, we both have other commitments and we're not going to be there. So I Love Discounts is holding down the fort. Tony and Lysandra are going to be talking with JJ Shopper. So anybody who knows JJ Shopper, she is a blast. She is so much fun. Her laugh is infectious. She is going to be on our podcast. She is going to be our very first podcast guest. I'm kind of sad that I can't be there, but I will be in Nashville at a cheer competition. So I won't be able to join. I'm hoping I can still have it on in the background and be able to put my earbuds in and listen and maybe make comments in the chat. But y'all, definitely that is not this Sunday, but the next, what day is that? The 26th, 29th? 29th. So if you like JJ Shopper, there you go. And just think about this. All right. JJ Shopper and I Love Discounts together. That's going to be a wild night. I'm just saying. They are both, I Love Discounts is too, but all three of the people together are like a ball of fun, like just outgoing ball of fun. So it's going to be a really good one. It does sound wild, doesn't it, Kimmy? It'll be a good party. Yes, I agree. So speaking of this podcast, let me do a giveaway real quick before I forget. I just happened to see it. We're going to do a giveaway. I don't want to brag and say proud. Maybe proud's the right word, but I'm encouraged by the fact that we're getting as many people as we do. So if you are one of the regulars that are showing up every Sunday, thank you so much. Everybody told us before we started a podcast, B-Ran, everybody told us, don't expect many people. Be proud. Thank you. That you get 4 or 5 on YouTube. You can't, it's not like Whatnot where you're going to get 20, 30 people, whatever. You'll get 4 or 5 if you're lucky. We've been holding 20 to 40, more so in the 20s and 30 range, like low 30s consistently. And I'm not saying it in a braggy way. I'm blown away. Like I expected like 5 people. So for us, we're only 9 episodes in. I feel it's pretty darn good. So I think that's encouraging. I really hope this is something a year from now we're getting, 100 people in the podcast. I think that would be amazing. I'm a little nervous on how we're going to answer that many questions, have the participation. Because right now, even now with there's ends up being 4 people on screen at all times. So it's Lysandra, Tony, myself, and Jeremy. Good morning, Tober. So it's hard to sometimes acknowledge every single comment because if there's a question, we kind of take turns and we each give our opinion, which is the beauty of the podcast in itself. So while we like the participation, sometimes it's hard and I don't like people feeling like they're left out, but we try. We do our best. Anything on your guys' minds today? I've got a topic we could talk about.
Thank you, Tober.
Yeah, everybody. So you saw Tober, and there's Tober right there. I dropped in her show yesterday, and it was the first time I have ever seen this. So it was like a red chat party. It was
No, we don't have comics. I'm
no.
sorry.
Thank you for asking, though. Appreciate it. It was like a red chat party. Everybody got a mod hat. Everybody could read the red chat. How many of you have been in a show and you were like, I just wish I could have seen what that person was laughing at right then? You were able to see it all. It was very entertaining. I was driving, so I couldn't participate a whole lot, but I definitely was listening and laughing along. So many shows, I'm like, oh, I wish I could, especially in JJ Shopper shows, because there's a lot of red chat going on. Not that I'm privy to see any of it, but I'm always like, man, I wish I knew what they said. I'm nosy. I want to know it all. I want to be like in the in-group. We do have a couple of pre-bids. Let's go over, we're going to run those pre-bids really quick, and then we'll get back to talking. I actually have a little bit of a topic. It's nothing humongous, but maybe we can have some conversation around it. Okay. And I have something else. I have somebody I want to mention today. We're going to start with the Butter Pat. So we're going to switch over to this camera. Cameraman, do your job. Thank you. All right, we have a Butter Pat. It is a thinner one, so it's not your thick and chunky ones. I'm pretty sure that says, I want to say Japan, Taiwan. I don't know. I can't read it. It says something on the back there. No chips or cracks. It has a little bit of gold trim going around. The tad bit of paint wear. Butter Pats are old. It is 3 inches. The Squirrely Shop rating with a party of 4. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. If you are coming in, my name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We are doing a chat and sell. Right now, we're about to sell this Butter Pat. And we're going to run it for 10 seconds. The Squirrely Shop, I hope you had a great show. Please put in there when your next show is so people can check you out. And this Butter Pat is up and running starting at just $1. Shipping is $4.50 today. We do have 2 of these. I'll be running the next one also. Hey, Monster Mama, congratulations. You got that Butter Pat. Let's run it one more time.
Thank you.
In case anybody else is interested or if you want another one. Oh, did I only put one in there? Uh-oh. All right, we're going to have to go back. Let me go. I'm sorry. Oh, was it for both of them? All right, great. No, it was just one, wasn't it? Or did I say 2 Butter Pats? No, it was a Butter Pat. Here's the other one. We're going to run the other one. There we go. I just don't know what I did with it. I'm lost this morning. There you go. Second Butter Pat's up and going. The Squirrel Shop Monday and Friday at 7 Eastern Time. 15-minute positivity show. I love that. A Monster Mama. Thank you so much. You got this other Butter Pat. A positivity show and selling sprinkled in, just like what we're doing this morning. Ranch Hand Finds, you got that giveaway. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Congratulations.
We had one more pre-bid I saw in there. Let's go ahead and do that other pre-bid. This is the butterfly. I listed as butterfly. Now, the butterflies are very understated, but they are there. Let me show you. This is such a pretty little one. The shape of this trinket box. See if I could read it. I can't. Did I put it in? Let's see if I put it in who the maker was. No, I can't read who this maker is. It's not one that I recognize. Can we switch the camera so I can show off these cute little butterflies? There you go. Hold on. Let me see what we have going on in the chat while you look at this pretty jar. I mean, I just showed up to the wrong post office for your first day at a location. Okay. So you went to the wrong job site. I sure hope your day turns out way better than that. But that is kind of funny. I think I will tease you about that for a long time now. Okay. We have this little trinket dish. You can see it has little butterflies and flowers on there. There's a yellow butterfly. There's more on here. There's another one right there. Really pretty. And look at this lid. The lid is really nice. No chips or cracks. And then you were 3 hours late yesterday. You can't do that. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to go ahead and run this. And that's not a chip. That's just a little like dirt. And that is up and running right now. A little sweet little, maybe a ring box. I would use it for rings, earrings. Southern Charm, thank you so much. I am not surprised. I know that you like
Thank
butterflies.
you.
Let's go back over here. So, Fairhope, we will open it up at the very end of the show to promote. Let's talk about promoting. And I'm not doing this to call you out, but we'll open it up at the very end of the show and tell anybody who wants to throw it in there. But during the show, we like to reserve that for the people who rate into us, just as a way to make it special for them. Let's talk about promoting in shows, though, because this is a big thing. And this wasn't on my list of things to talk about. But I would love to hear, anybody in the chat, I would love to hear your opinions on this, because this is such a huge thing on Whatnot. Thank you for your purchase from the bin. That is... really quick, Rainy D, that's this plate that's behind me. I don't know if you can zoom in. It is totally awesome. Just had to point that out. I've been using it as part of the backdrop up there. So anybody, if you have opinions, please put them in the chat, because this needs to be more than just me talking about this. Asking to promote that's something that you'll hear a lot of people say, or advice given, particularly on Facebook groups and stuff. You'll hear a lot of, a good way for new sellers to get their name out is to ask to promote. And at least, and I appreciate you, and trust me, I am not calling you out. This is not a bad thing. And I appreciate that you asked in the way that you did, because that was very polite and very respectful. And thank you for that. But this is advice. That's okay. No, you're totally good. You're totally good. But it's advice given to a lot of people. So I could see why. I mean, I did it myself when I was brand new a couple of years ago. I personally don't feel it's effective. If anytime that I've been in a show and somebody's promoted, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make me want to click on them. It just doesn't do anything without the rate. Okay, so Prim Shopper, thank you for pitching in. I appreciate that. As a buyer, it's annoying. Any other opinions or thoughts? Better time spent would be mingling and saying hi and Kimmy D, you're reading my mind. You're going right where I'm going with this. Do I do anything for you? I love discounts. You always do something for me. And if a seller allows it, I feel it takes away from the show. There's Sassy Vintage Chick. I agree. So I think Kimmy D really summed it up very, very well. As a new seller, probably the best thing, and even an experienced seller, the best thing we can do is to make friends, to go into chats, be active like everybody now. Thank you for hope. Y'all, honestly, thank you for being in my show, Fairhope. I am not getting on you. This is a topic that's so controversial and such a big deal on Whatnot that I'm like, hey, here's an opportunity. Let's talk about it. And that's what we do in these shows. So we talk about stuff. Yes. Okay. So I only promote when the seller asks the audience to do so. I typically get a few bookmarks, and that's fine. And if the seller asks, every now and then, usually at the end of the show, I'll open it up. Hey, everybody, throw your shows in there. This gives a chance where everybody's doing it at the same time. If you see something you like, you can go and do it. But I think mingling, making friends, is really the best way to promote. For example, Shalom, y'all, and Grammy G, they buy from me a lot. And it's not just because they buy from me, but they come in, they talk in the shows, they purchase items, they're interactive. Because of that, when they have something going on, they can message me and be like, hey, this is going on. Can you take part in this? Can you talk about this? And I am more than happy to talk about things that they're doing, because we've built a relationship, which in turn then promotes them, right? And I can tell who is overly friendly, trying to make friends. You could tell the people that are just like, what's the word? Like, it's not spamming, but like monopolizing the chat because they just want all the attention. That's not cool neither. Extra. Yeah, the people who are just extra. But really quick, I want to show you, this is the way that, because if you network in the manner that Whatnot allows, by talking, purchasing, being active, and purchasing, I put that in there because the two people I'm talking about have done that, but it's not necessary. But being active, you create a relationship, and then the person it's reciprocated, right? So for instance, Shalom Y'all and Grammy G are doing a raid train. They messaged me about it. So there's Shalom Y'all. Scroll down. We're looking for the new seller. No, it's called 1K Surge Raid Train. I don't see it on there yet, but it's supposed to be on Tuesday. Are we past Tuesday yet? All right. I am not seeing it. However, they are doing a 1K Surge Raid Train. It is hosted by Shalom Y'all and Grammy G. If you are a new seller less than 1K, they have openings. So there's Shalom Y'all. You know who to go to if you are less than a 1K person and you want to get on a raid train. This is how you network. This is how it works. This is what it looks like. Can we switch back here? Look for this icon, you guys. That's it. That is their raid train icon. So can you throw them in the box too, please? That to me is how you network. Now, had Shalom Y'all just messaged me out of the blue and said, hey, I have a raid train. Would you mind? I need people to get on it. I'm having a hard time reaching out, whatever. Can you talk about it in your show? And we didn't have that relationship. I would have been like, who in the heck are you, right? Or if they just came in and are like, can I promote my raid train? No, right? I don't mind it either as long as it's not a show. Exactly. And we never promote shows during our same show. Also, if I see you interacting in a chat and it's funny, exactly. If you're making somebody laugh or you're saying something intelligent, like it's like a fact, I'm like, oh, wow, this person is the type of person that I'd like to go and watch. And you follow them. So I don't know. Having your own shows, being active, I noticed a huge shift in my business. And this was the thing I struggled with personally as a seller on Whatnot, was that at the very beginning, I'm not a social person. I'm very much an introvert. And I was in rooms. I was in a lot of rooms. And I was listening and I was lurking. And in my mind, I wasn't being rude, but I didn't know what to say. I was very, very shy, even in the chat. I'm like, I don't want people to think I'm being stupid or being rude, or I don't want them to laugh at me. Like, these were all real feelings that Southern Charm, you feel that way. These are all real feelings you may have as a new person going into a chat. Particularly, we know how it is. And I know I'm guilty of it too. When a seller has friends, they may talk to those people more often in the chat. And I know you guys hear it. I talk to Southern Charm and I Love Discounts a lot because we have a friend group going. And it's not that I like them more. It's just that I have a comfort level with them on a personal basis. And so if you're a new seller and you come into a chat, it can be very difficult to get going. As I grow as a seller, I have more people in a show promoting. Buy sellers can sometimes get in the way of keeping up with the chat from buyers. Absolutely. So I think that's true for buyers too. They won't request an item in the chat, but will buy when they see what they want. 100% T-Bubble. And this is why you never do the scanning. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want to see. People are shy. Let me tell you, this was almost a revolution. Is it revolution? No, revelation. That's the word I'm looking for. To me, in real life and on here. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. Watching a show, someone ask at a bad time, pretend to be innocent and say, can I promote my brass show for tonight? Well, you just promoted your brass show, didn't you, when they say that? Good morning, the polish picker. Just in and out of shows, only for promoting. It's not good etiquette. It isn't. I cannot tell you, when I finally kind of started to come out of my shell a little bit, and it wasn't even me, it was more so my husband pushing me and my husband getting on here, I saw a drastic change in my Whatnot business. Now, there were some other factors that were playing into like where I was as a business, but I definitely saw an increase in people in my room and an increase in bids when my husband joined me as Zoe's T-Mod. You guys know him. He uses a different name. I know. Imagine that, my husband being social. But when he started going around, things changed for me. And that's when it was very eye-opening to me. Like, I need to do this more. And I'm still working on it. It's still not an easy thing for me to do. I am a come in and observe person. And every now and then if I hear something, I'll pitch in. But I'm not the, chatty person in there typing all kinds of stuff. But it does make a difference. Being that social, having some connections absolutely is going to make a difference in your business. And it could be a little bit or it could be a lot. And this is to the point I wanted to talk about Hold on, really quick. Time's taking. When I'm in shows and I see active chatting by people and then supporting the seller, I'm more likely 100% times a taking 100%. I think some of my favorite people that I've ever found, I have found because of stuff in the chat. And not because they bought a sponsorship or not because they promoted in the chat. It was because of their activity. And I'm like, who is this person? Like they pique your interest in some way. That is no different than if you go into, think about when you're in school, college, or you go into a party as an adult, or you're at work. You don't just all of a sudden go in and everybody's your friend, right? I mean, some people may be like that, but in general, you don't go in and all of a sudden everybody's your friend. You go in and you're assessing. You're like, which person here has my vibe? Which one of you are my kind of people, right? And you're listening to conversations. Are they talking about something that interests you? You're watching like the behaviors. Are they kind of shy like me? Or are they really outgoing? It's the same in real life. You're doing that just without the body language. We're doing that with chats all the time. Reading the room. There you go. That's what it's called. Reading the room. So I think sometimes it comes off as snobbish when a seller gets offended by something so insignificant as someone promoting. I think it does too, when they get offended by it. I think there's a polite way to handle it and there's a rude way. I think some sellers, personal opinion, I think some sellers are overboard and very rude about it. Click with the people you like in life. Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that dawned on me said, oh, well, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you being here. Absolutely. And hang out. Make some more friends. I had a show with an item that the buyer's payment failed. I cannot find the product anywhere in my hub. Is it just missing? Any ideas to find it? It should go into your inactives. You should find it under your inactive tab. It won't be in orders or whatever. If their payment failed, it kind of disappears from your orders and your shipments. But it should be in your inactive. But with big rooms, get many requests to promote, and after a while, it's hard to say so nicely. It does. And here's the thing. Who was I listening to the other day?
Before she finishes that thought, just because you hang out, and thank you for being here and to be open for the input. Here we go.
There you go. Thank you, honey. There is Fair Hope Girl.
She's a somewhat brand new seller.
Miss Amanda, a new seller, and she does have a show.
And
so
she
if
has
you're
one
interested.
show. We suggest you schedule a couple more.
Yes, throw a few more on there. Oddly, it's not in the end. Really? Somebody else, I just saw it pop up in the chat. They said they think it deletes now. It could. Whatnot changes stuff. So I heard somebody the other day, Sassy Vintage Chick. This goes to what you were just saying. I heard a seller, I wish it for life of me. It may have been Farm. I don't know. It was at a chat show. I love chat shows, so I'm in a bunch of them. How to add more shows. Okay. The same way you added the first one. Just up at the top of your screen, there's a little plus button. If you click it, it should be like plus, add product or add show or create show. So try that. And this non-new seller, the seller doing the chat show, Tabitha, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. The
Congratulations.
seller said that when you're brand new, like think about this, all of you who've been around just even a little bit, when you're first starting out, people don't ask to promote very much, right? But the more you get on the app and the bigger your room size gets, you get more and more requests because you don't want to go in a room with 4 people and say, can I promote? Because you're promoting to 4 people. But if you have 50 people, people will say, oh, can you promote? So as we start to grow on this app, the prevalence of can I promote becomes more and more in your shows. You'll see it more frequently. And then it starts to be like, and I'm trying to keep up with chat. I think I was talking about this on Monday, that when you're up here, you have a million things going on in your mind. Even if I'm not selling, even as just sitting here talking to you guys, I'm trying to read the chat. I'm trying to see when people join. I'm trying to make sure that I start giveaways like right now, like I should be doing. I'm trying to listen to directions my husband's giving me. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. And that promote, like particularly trying to read the chat and keep up with a bunch of people does make it difficult. So I wish I could remember who was talking about this, because I would definitely call them out in a good way for bringing this point up. So you do need to think about it as a newer seller. If you're not having people request a lot in your shows, That's good. How are you going to handle it when it happens? Are you going to be the person that allows promoting at any time? And there's no right or wrong. You could do it any way you want. Or are you going to be like, hey, let's wait till the end of the show? Or maybe you need a bathroom break and you're like, hey, I'm going to take a 2-minute break. Everybody promote, talk to each other while I'm having a break. I've seen some sellers do that, and I think that's a great way to handle it. So I mod for Hodgins, at least 10 a show who ask more. Exactly, Sassy, because she's super popular. She gets 100 to 300 people in her room. I missed a question up here. I've heard some say, yes, you can promote, but share the show. I like that. Oh yeah. I think I've seen that too. So, let's make sure I didn't miss it. Sometimes the only time I notice someone promoting is when the seller makes a big deal out of it. Exactly. So I don't know. There's no right or wrong. I don't think it's super effective. Just as this may be a unpopular opinion, I don't think buying sponsorships in people's shows are particularly effective either. That is like asking McDonald's asking Burger King to give them a promotion. I mean, I know you could go into another one, but even like McDonald's going to CVS and CVS asking them to announce over their loudspeaker, hey, everybody, guess what? McDonald's just came in the room. Why don't you go ahead and head on over for a Big Mac today? Like, I don't know. I just don't feel that it's super effective. I love it when a seller puts the show notes with their preference for promoting. I don't know. You know what? I think at one point I had it in my show notes. I probably should add that back. And to be clear, those busy rooms, when you do, the chat moves so fast you don't see it. Exactly. When you have 200-300 people, it's like going super fast.
Now I want a Big Mac.
The seller highlights it by bringing attention to it. I can tell you as a buyer who has been on this app for over 4 years, I never follow a promoter and have often blocked them. Yeah, I don't block them. I have no interest in going. And this goes back to our conversations we had a Big Mac is imitate or innovate. Come up with unique ways. Look, some of this is tried and true. We're all going to do the same thing to some extent, right? But how can you set yourself apart? If every new person is going in asking to promote, how can you be different? How could we, even if we've been here 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, how can we be different in our presentation and what we're doing, in our thumbnails? Is anybody else, and I'm not trying to, not getting on anybody, but is anybody else over the AI thumbnails? There's zero creativity in all of those thumbnails. Thank you for your free information. So many sellers. Oh, you're very welcome. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I can give you a hint. We have something that we've been working on, and I can show you if you allow me.
Oh, okay. Hold on real quick. Yes. We're going to run a little commercial for you. So this is imitate or innovate. If you see something out there, you could take it and change it and make it your own. For example, I'm going to do a little commercial here. I'm going into seller mode, Tracy seller mode. We do have something called the live seller link. If you haven't seen it, check this out, and then we'll talk about imitating.
Have you seen the new live seller link card? It is amazing. All your social media, your website, your selling platforms in one card? How convenient.
Share your seller profile, social media, and contact info, all with one tap.
All right, that's our live seller link, you guys. Those are in the bin if you're interested. But in the whole imitate, do you love your cards? Thank you, Southern Charm. I'm glad you love your cards. In the whole idea of imitate and innovate combined together, because you can imitate buyers and be innovative in your approach to it at the same time. We didn't come up with that idea. That's not our idea. There's dot cards out there, right? Everybody's heard of dot. This does the same thing. Trish, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. This does the same thing.
Congratulations.
But we took it and we made it different. That's imitating and innovating. You can take something and make it yourself. It's called the live seller link. and you can customize it. We will naturally just use whatever logo you have on Whatnot, but if you want something different, we can customize or use whatever logo that you would want to use or any picture that you would want to use. Yes, they're in our band. They're called the Life Seller Link. So watching other sellers.
I know, Sassy. I feel left out. I was going to call you out, but I've been waiting.
What's not cool that new sellers should come here talking at Lost Ledger. Thank you, Sassy Vintage Chick. So we had this conversation on the podcast. Are there any real new ideas? Probably not. But you could take ideas and make them your own. And is people going to copy you? Are people going to copy you? Let me try to use a little bit better grammar here. Are people going to copy you? Absolutely. There's some ideas that people copy that you're like, hey, this is cool. Like I was talking about the rewards cards earlier. I think it's totally cool that other people are doing this. I want to be a trendsetter. Thank you, Sassy Vintage Chick.
Sassy, do me a favor, send us a DM with your email address so I can send you the initial instructions.
Can you tell me more about the Life Seller Link? Absolutely. So the Life Seller Link, do we have one here? Oh, here we go. Look, I have two of them here. So they look like this. They look like little credit cards. They come horizontal or vertical, and you can get them in black or white. And what you do, this is mine, so Zoe's Treasures. Somebody comes up. We're going to show it from this way. It'll work better from the top. Let me log into my phone. So somebody comes up, you're like talking to them. You can put them in lanyards at conferences. They tap their phone. It pops up there on the screen. And then all of a sudden it opens up with, maybe I should turn the phone around so you can see it the right way, all the contact information. So it'll automatically take you to my Whatnot, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, email. So let me click on the Whatnot one, open in Whatnot, open, and it opens up to my Whatnot page. So it allows people to get all your contact information. You can put your phone number, any URL. So if you have a Whatnot item, we have another card that we've designed for the Seller Summit in Austin that will take you straight to that card. So while we're at the Seller Summit and somebody taps our card and they're like, that's totally cool. How do I buy one? We're like, tap this, and it takes them right to the product, and all they have to do is hit buy now. So it's pretty cool, and they're customizable where you can change it. So we set it up for you. We pre-program it, but then once you get it, it's totally in your control. We have no access to it anymore, and you can change URLs, change phone number, change anything in there that you want.
Now, if you have a link tree already set up and you want that to be set up in your card as you get it, all you need to do is share with us your link tree information, and I can program it in there.
And if you have a booth or you do like craft fairs or flea markets, we can create ones that you can put in a picture frame and is set up. They don't look like a card, but it works the same way, so your customers can just tap it. Cool story about this. Can we add the $15? If it's a URL, yes, you can.
As a matter of fact, the link to Whatnot is the invite.
So, yep. I have my own Whatnot link in my booth. Awesome. That is great. Kind of cool story about these cards. So we went to this, I don't even want to call it an antique store. It's like a primitive barn. And they turned this old barn into a store that really focuses on primitives.
Thank you for your help.
And we went into, you could, the thing with it kind of works like a QR code, except that you can have multiple links. So a QR code will take you just to one spot. The cards will take you to multiple ones, but it works on the same premise. So.
You can even put a link directly to one particular item that you're selling.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
If you want to promote that.
Yeah. Or your Etsy or your, all those other different places. Anyways, the cards. So we went to this shop that my husband had found this shop by us, and it's a barn that they turned into a store that they sell mainly just primitives in the store. We went in, we got all excited. We bought a couple of things, and then Southern Charm, we knew she was coming to visit us, and she loves primitives. So we were telling her about it, and she had placed some orders. So when they got up here last weekend, we went back. And in the meantime, I got to back up. The first time we were in the store, the lady had a sign when you walk in, and it says, please follow me at Facebook. And she just wrote her Facebook thing out there. She was sweet, wasn't she? Her name's Maribel. It's Maribel's. You guys, if you like primitives,
Thank you, Kimmy.
they have a Facebook page. I'm not trying to drive off platform sales. I'm just telling you about this really cool store. So, anyways, we go up to the counter. And my husband's like, "Hey, you should put like a QR code. You should do something with you on your sign to make it easy for your customers because that's a good marketing tool you have." And the sweetest lady, and she's like, "I don't know how to do that." And she goes, "That's just beyond me. I just don't do tech." And you know, she was very sweet. So when we went back this past weekend, my husband created her a couple of those cards, walked in and said, "Hey, guess what? Look what I made for you. Here you go." She was so happy to the point there was this huge cabinet. I get to pick it up. I've been eyeballing this cabinet since the first time we were in the store. It's like this big, maybe even bigger, and it's glass, and it's an old antique tea and coffee cabinet. So I looked at her. I'm like, "Hey, I really don't have all the money today. Can I use your layaway to buy that?" And she goes, "Tell you what, you guys have just blessed me so much." And she cut the price in half on this cabinet and sold it to us. She was on the verge of tears. She was so happy. And then as a way to say thank you. And then I got something really cool out of it. It's just like, it makes you feel like what goes around comes around, right? Like the more we do for other people, the more they do back. And you don't do just to get, but it's just the natural cycle of the way things work. It was really sweet. I was super excited. She was excited. It was a good day. Southern Charm got to buy some cool stuff and things that they liked. So if you guys love like primitives now, her prices were fair. They're higher than Whatnot prices. And she is a physical store. And I don't know if she ships, but if you're in the Pennsylvania area, Southern PA, I would definitely check her out if that's your vibe. Totally cool store to go to. Yeah, everybody was being nice to each other. We are all playing like friends. Good morning to Aaron Sphere. It is in York. It's not in York. Is it York?
No, it's in Abelstown. Abelstown.
Abelstown or Adamstown?
Abelstown.
Abbott's. No, it's Abbottstown.
Abbott's, I'm sorry,
Abbottstown, PA, and it's called Maribel's. It was really an awesome store. Yeah, I know she's on Facebook, so she may ship.
She puts her new coming items on Facebook, and I think she does do sales over Facebook. So you might want to check it out. The name is Maribel's for Home and Garden.
Yeah, my She Shack sign back there, I got that from her store. So, okay, I think hopefully that's all the information.
Oh,
Get
that
in the
is the
bubble.
wizard behind the curtain.
Get in the bubble. That is my husband. That is the love of my life that drives me absolutely insane.
Good morning, everybody.
We can't see you.
Oh,
You're
sorry,
not in the bubble.
wrong bubble. That's the bubble. Good morning, everybody.
He likes to just sit back there and give me orders throughout the whole show. That's what he does. So I have a question for you. And I wrote this down as just kind of like, I like to try to think of a couple talking points just in case people get really quiet in the show for some reason.
Good morning, Southern Charm.
The road to 1,000. First thought he was AI? Oh, AI. Okay. No, but all right.
I can do some tricks.
Before we talk about AI, before we talk about what I was just about to talk about, the road to 1,000, since you mentioned AI, we have been using the coolest tool. I was not going to talk about this because this is so cool that I want to keep it secret. Like I don't want nobody to know, but like this is too cool not to share at the same time. His voice is kind of soothing, unless he's mad at me. Then it's not so soothing. Let me tell you.
Thank you, Tabitha.
Or when I spend too much money, it gets very deep. He used to be, it's not a drill instructor, but he used to instruct at an academy. And he had to have that kind of drill instructor type voice that when he uses that one, you're in trouble. Or when I drive too fast, yes. There is not a time. I'll tell you what, my husband's the worst passenger princess ever to exist because he just yells at me.
Congratulations.
Yes, Treasure Hunter Jay, congratulations. Yours too? Yeah. What was okay, so this is a new tool we've been using that is absolutely fantastic. Worth every penny so far. Have you guys ever heard of Sentra? Did I say it correctly? Sentra. Sentra. This is an AI assistant.
SIN.
Oh, Sentra. Sintra. This is an AI assistant that is actually like 10 assistants in one. Best tool ever. If you were struggling with social media, I was totally struggling with social media. Every month, I'm like, I'm going to do better. I'm going to post on Instagram. Let me stop and say, I don't think Instagram or all of that is necessary to have a successful whatnot business. However, I think it could add to it. I think it's definitely complementary to your whatnot business. But if you're like me and you're like, I work full time, I don't have time, or I just don't know what to put, I'm not doing funky dances, I'm not going to get up there and lip sync to something, but I really want to put content out because I want to be not more known, but just more awareness of my business, right? This tool will create, can you just write the name of it? Yeah, he's going to put it in there for you. It will create all of your social media posts. There it is right there. It's a tad bit pricey. Like something for my booth, what do I select? Just select anything, any of those options. It's the exact same price. And then just message exactly what you want. And Noelle will message back and forth with you to narrow it down to exactly what you want.
If you want it for your booth, I'll send you something interesting. So just pick one of the cards. I'll send you the card and I'll send you something else.
Yeah. So this Sentra AI is, and I'm not affiliated. I'm telling you, this is just something I use that I have been like blown away by. Will create all of your social media for you. You get to approve it, but you basically tell it about yourself. Like it learns about you like AI does, but you put in your brand colors, your logos, your brand voice. It doesn't sound super AI. Like when it pops stuff out, you still have to go in and do some editing, but it's paid for itself in the first week that I've had it. Not only does it do all my social media posts, it links to QuickBooks if you have QuickBooks. It has like 20 or so integrations into other things, can help you build a web page, can help you do market research on your competitors. Once a week, we get it to tell us what's happening and whatnot. So I use it now to tell me, and it will actually go through and tells me, my last one, told me about House of Coop and what they were doing. So it'll tell you about your competitors, big things happening either on the platform or with other people. It'll tell you things happening outside the market. If you want like an update on vintage decor or clothing resellers or whatever, it is like having a bunch of little assistants helping you run your business. If it is just you and you don't have a team, this helps you create a team. And again, I am not affiliated any way, shape, or form. I am just blown away by how effective it's been for me. And is definitely, if you're looking just for some extra help. As soon as I said on logo, I don't mean to be.
Absolutely,
thank you, Tober.
And it doesn't have to be a logo. You can always send me a design or a design idea, and we can work on it.
Bruno, congratulations. You got that giveaway. I'm not so tech savvy. I don't understand how to do Insta. I have Facebook figured out, but have no idea what to do with Instagram. I need help too. Or help. If this AI tool, like you kind of tell it. So it'll give you some ideas. It'll say, hey, how about this? And it'll schedule out your social media. But then I'll go in.
T-Bubble, I can help a little bit. I'm not a natural graphic designer. I've been doing graphic design for a while. But sure, I can help you.
So it will like schedule out your media or like give you suggestions like Monday, do this, Tuesday. But then I went into it and I said, hey, I really want to add some behind the scenes. I want to bring a human element to my social media. And so I said, how can I add behind the scenes type post into my Instagram? So it gave me some ideas and then you just upload pictures. So now all I have to do is when I'm doing my daily stuff, when I'm packing, take a quick selfie or take a picture. Like right now, I should take a picture of him. He's going to hide to get some behind the scenes. And then it helps create it for you. Like you don't even need to know. I can't even find my camera. I am going to take a picture of you if I can find my camera in here. Okay, come over here. Say cheese. Oh, he's hiding. He won't do it. Okay. Anyways, it does all of that for you. it's amazing, and there's more uses to it than what I'm talking about. If you have your analytics, you can put your analytics, like financial information, if you have an Excel sheet, and have it analyze it for you. It's an app. It's on your computer or your phone.
You can download it on your phone. You can have it on your computer, and it also can connect to your email and gives you a rendition of your email every day.
Yeah, it summarizes all my emails and tells me what's important, what I need to answer. And also you can hook it to Facebook and it will reply to your Facebook
Mr.
comments.
Labs, we're talking about an application that we found that we've been trying, and she likes it very much.
She'll
I'll
put it
on the screen.
It's called Sintra, right there, Sintra. It's a tad bit pricey. I'm not going to lie. I think we paid like $180 for a year or something like that. It's a little pricey, but for me, 100% worth it in what it's given me. Now that you're like, when you do it, you get credits, 250 credits. Some applications, like some of the stuff you ask it to do takes credits. Some things don't. I haven't had a problem yet. I've been using this nonstop. It is, yep, you can write it off on your taxes. It is totally deductible on your taxes. It's just one of those things. If you were looking for an extra kind of set of hands in the sense of just like the back end operational administrative type stuff, you still have to manage it, but it is, I just can't say enough about how impressed I am with it. We were telling Southern Charm all about it. We told I Love Discounts about it. Sounds like me just as much as we need accounting classes. Maybe we'll see what's coming. I actually have plans for Zoe's Treasures this year. We are really, no surprise, I have a 3-year plan, right? But this year, I've said it before, is our accounting and tax focus. Vintage decor, as far as I know, is not going away. I have no plans to make that go away. That's kind of our main. And then we have jewelry, which we introduced this year. Struggle bus on the jewelry. Actually, Noel's going to be selling tonight. We have a jewelry show. He's going to be doing the selling because I'm not a very good jewelry seller.
Oh boy.
But other than that, I'm doing a lot of things off platform in expanding my tax and accounting type focus. So I'm creating workshops and classes off platform, advertising in other places. So don't know if I'm bringing any of that to Whatnot yet.
Thank you, DJ Virus.
You're an AI engineer for us, and this is a really good tool. Oh, cool. Thank you for vouching for it. You just need to be mindful and read everything. Yes, you absolutely. And that, as with any AI, you absolutely need to read everything because you have, what's that called? Hallucination is the big thing with AI, that it's bad information. The one thing I like about this one, though, is that you could really teach it to your brand voice. To me, it's better than ChatGPT. It takes into account your photos, your pictures, your brand colors, and the output sounds more like me than it does ChatGPT. Doesn't mean that you can just go with it. DI Virus is absolutely, you have to read everything and edit as necessary. When you're communicating with these agents, tell her to ask you questions to get full context before it doesn't work. Oh, I like that. You know what else I learned at this conference I was at last week? Before it does work, yes. Which I didn't know about AI, particularly like ChatGPT. I was at a conference last week for people who write training materials, and we were talking about like almost every session had some type of AI component to it. But that AI, you could ask AI to do something for you and then ask it to check its own work. And it'll go back through and like proofread and redo its own work. I didn't know you can use AI like that.
Absolutely, Yellow Fox. Thank you for being here.
We still have ChatGPT. I have the paid subscription to that, and I'm not going to I'm still paying for it because I think ChatGPT is useful in certain instances, and this other AI tool, the Sintra, works in a slightly different way. Even though it's all AI, you'll see that there's significant differences between the two. Also, if you have to chance to choose different models, I have one model to do the work and one model to check. I like that. The other thing I learned, and maybe this is what you're talking about, I learned last week, I learned so much stuff last week at this conference, that when you're in ChatGPT, that up at the top of the screen, you can select like different types that it runs on. And I forget the types, but there's like different ways that it will run, and you can control that. Central, is that what you're talking? It's Sintra. Livia is Sin. There. Oh, thank you. You're putting it in there. That's the models you're referring to? Okay, I was wondering if that's what it was, because I just heard about that last week. So
DJ, she's not very tech savvy, so
I am not tech savvy.
understand.
Y'all, I am not. I can barely work my remote control. Seriously.
She can barely work her own computer and monitors.
No, I get so frustrated with my computer. Yeah.
Thank you, DJ.
Yes.
I myself am a computer engineer for a long, long time.
Yeah. My husband's a tech guy here, but me not being techie could totally use this AI tool that I'm telling you about, this Centra, and it like very effectively. So anyways, just had to tell you about that because this is really cool. Just sharing information. We got a pre-bid. Let me do this pre-bid, and then we're going to talk about getting to 1,000 sales, because I think this is an interesting conversation.
Remember, if you're buying the live seller link, send us a DM with your email address so we can send you the initial instructions.
All right, we have this adorable little pig, and I'm not sure if this pig is golfing. I kind of think it may be golfing. I don't know. Maybe it's just playing putt-putt. The lights are a little bright, but there's like a little white ball down here. It looks like he's holding like a little golf club. Either way, I think this pig is absolutely adorable. It is little girl pig because there's a bow in the top of her head. Who makes this? I don't know who makes it. There's no maker's mark on the bottom. We're going to run it though. 2.5 inches tall. And it's up and running. It does feel like I want to say a ceramic is what it feels like. Thank you, Monster Mama. That is going to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, road to 1,000. Do you all think, and this just dawned on me, I was just curious. I have some opinions, but I mean, I'm curious what other people think. I know that as a new seller, everybody tries to get to 1,000 because that's when you get instant payout. But one, do you think the road to 1,000 should be based on the 1,000 sales, or should it be based on a different metric? Is 1,000 sales really the best metric to judge if you're ready for more payout? Like the instant payout, it's basically the reason it's set up is to have you had enough experience. If you're brand new to this app, they're not going to give you your money instantly because you have to build up that trust. They don't know that you're going to send the product out. You've got to prove yourself first. That's kind of the essence behind this, is proving yourself that you're going to send stuff out. You're going to be timely. If you like totally suck right at the get-go, you're going to have a ton of complaints and you're never going to hit that 1,000 people. They're going to kick you off first, right? Yeah, because it depends what you sell. It is. It's all about getting that experience. But I don't think the 1,000, and I don't know what the right metric is. I don't have an answer to this. And it's not like I have power to change it anyways. But I was just thinking about it. I think the instant payout should be based on the amount of sales and also time. I think time should be a factor too. Because you know what? Some people can get on here and hit 1,000 in a week. You can blow it out of the water, or you can hit 1,000. It took me like 6-7 months to hit 1,000. Time on the shows, like how many hours have you put on the show? I think there should be maybe even a combination of different metrics need to be met. I don't know what the answer is. It just dawned on me. I don't think 1,000 is necessarily it, because, and I can get a little philosophical at times, but when you think about it, it's not even necessarily the goal. It's not reaching the 1,000 that's important. It's not necessarily the journey, but it's who you become as you go on this journey. It's all about you and your development as a business. That emerging seller bonus was so helpful for my learning. Sales didn't matter, but also that my willingness and want to learn. And that's what it should be, a willingness and wanting to learn. So that's kind of where my mindset is too. It's taken you 9 months to get to 1,000. I finally think I'm going to make it this. Well, congratulations. I hope you do. That would be awesome. I've sold for years before Whatnot. Good shipper, good seller. But I guess they don't know that, so I'm just waiting. Yeah, and that's just it too. People come to this platform. Some of them come with, like you said, years of experience. Other ones are brand new. They've never done anything like this. 1,000 different sales or 1K in sales, something. I mean, and I don't know if it's something necessary that we have to solve. I was just curious if you guys have ever thought about this and kind of thought, I mean, 1,000 is kind of an arbitrary number. I know Whatnot had to come up with something. They had to have some baseline, some, goalpost, benchmark. No, I maintained less than 1 day since 100% scan rate, 100% everything, zero. That is awesome. And that's the other thing. The whole stickers to get to 1,000. If your stickers make up a handful of those 1,000, yeah, no big deal. I think we've all thrown stickers in our bin when we were less than 1,000. But it's about learning and growing as a seller throughout the process. And I don't know, that's hard to measure. It's hard to measure growth. I was asking which is, mark money or no. I was asking which is the mark money. It is number of sales. It is 1,000 items sold. All right. I don't think I'm missing any. Which one did I miss, honey? You're telling I got it. We talked about that. I answered that. You weren't listening to me. And categories too, because let's face it, handmade is going to take somebody a whole heck of a lot longer to get to 1,000. Handmade maybe should be less because you're spending a significant amount of times trying to make something. It's a completely different concept than a card seller or clothing seller or a vintage seller. Completely different concept. When a seller with less metrics grab 100 stickers, a show, and hit, yeah. I agree with you, Bert Theory. It's about the journey there. It's not always. It just kind of dawned on me, and I don't think I'm happy for anybody who gets 1,000. I don't think let's diminish the achievement that you've gotten, but we've all seen it. We've seen people get to 1,000, and you're like, you still don't know what you're doing, I know from who here has been selling, just if you've been selling more than a year, I can almost guarantee, just put in the chat, if you agree that you were a different seller today than you were a year ago. Oh my goodness, I'm on. It is so much different. 1,000 pieces of glass and football cards. So yes, how our evolution of ourselves, of our businesses, from where I started 2 years ago to today to right now, 100% different. 9 months, very different. Yeah. I mean, look back at your first shows and we're like, I'm fumbling and like you learn as you go. Almost a year, but totally different. I'm a different seller today than last night. Yeah. Me too. Almost every single show. I'm like, oh, well, I can do this better. I can change this, or it's that continual growth. Speaking of continual growth, my husband just reminded me, this would be a good time to talk about CEO Challenge. And we're not done with this conversation, but since we're talking about growth, if you guys haven't heard, I am doing a combination challenge raid train growth event. T-Bubble, I'm going to come right back to your comment in just 1 second. It is called the CEO Challenge. Let's show you what that is really quick.
Six sellers growing. Learning. Building. Through weekly challenges. Building a business, not just a show. Welcome to the CEO Challenge.
That is a CEO challenge. It goes along with what we're talking about growing as a seller. If you guys are interested in being one of those 6 sellers, the applications are on CG Boomerang Echo's website. So boomerangecho.com. He'll put it up on the screen or in the box or something. And you can get an application to be on there. Here you go, right here. So if you're interested, and this is going to kick off in April, and this is about growing as a seller throughout the whole month of April, weekly challenges, all the details are either, some of them are there, the rest of the details are in the application. And it's real simple. It's not like a job application. It just needs some basic info. But it's about growing. And I think that's where it is. Go right there. There you go. That's where you can sign up. Dumpy, you've had 2 shows so far. It is drastic. In 6 months, you're going to look back and not recognize yourself as a business. You're going to just be like, wow, Look how much I've grown. We learn things. We come to each other's shows. We learn from each other. We go to chat shows. It's I don't know. I just didn't think the 1,000 was where it was. I thought it was more about the growth as a person and or as a business. And I know you Whatnot can't measure that. Think about all the sellers that we have on Whatnot. There's no way. They need a hard cut, something that the computer can recognize as a metric. So I understand it from a business perspective that, Whatnot can't sit down with each person and say, how did you grow this last year? Okay, I think you're ready for your payout now. You need better merch. I had to research where to buy. Merchandise is hard. Let me tell you, when I first started out, new sellers will come on the app, and I did this when I was new too. You come on the app and you see people, OGs who've been around, and you're just like, okay, that's what I need to do. How often am I going live? How many days a week? As often as you can. So, Ash Thomas, as often as you can, but at least have one anchor show a week. If you can go live 2 or 3 days a week, the more you go live, the more exposure you get, bottom line. But you have to think about what going live entails. It's the setup to going live, it's going live, and then it's the shipping afterwards. So what if you go live and you sell 50 items? Depending on what you sell, jewelry you can ship out in an hour or two. Vintage is going to take multiple hours to ship. So you have to take all of that into consideration. And then when can you do it consistently? Being consistent when you're going live is more important than how often you're going live. People may not remember your name, but they'll remember a feeling and they'll say, oh, I got that really cool piece of jewelry from that girl on Tuesday nights. They'll associate when they bought something to something else that they're doing. I was sitting at my kids' gymnastics on Whatnot. It was Tuesday. Oh, it's Tuesday again. Let me go see if I can find her. So being more consistent regularly is more important than how often. Get consistent, get your processes down, and then start adding in more as you can. Sometimes I feel like I have an age disadvantage because of little tech experience, and I work like a mule, but the tech part is not my forte. Reclaim Vintage though, I'm not techie. I'm fortunate to have a husband who's techie, but if you can work an iPhone, you're good. Just being on here, I know you've got the hang of Whatnot as is. That's all that matters. If you can, or iPhone or Android, whatever phone you have, you work your phone and you can do Whatnot, that's all you have to do. You don't have to be any more techie. To me, it's not about the tech. Do we use a lot of tech? Yes, that's only because it's my husband's, passion. But can you be successful on here? Look at Hodge. Hodge doesn't do tech. Look at House of Coop. They don't do tech. I'm trying to think. Upcycled by Bree. There's a ton of people on here. I'm trying to think that don't do tech that are very, very successful on here. It's about the experience you create. You can create a really cool experience without ever using any technology.
Tober, I have way too many buttons.
He does. Yeah, but touch all the buttons. Just practice. Do a private show. And practice. If you feel like you're not really good at I fumble around, I don't know. And I'm not saying you fumble. I'm just saying maybe if you feel that way, do a private show. I do try very hard to create a good show. And that's all that matters. It's your personality. You know what? And not everybody's going to like everybody. There's people who come into my show and they're like, I don't know about her. I'll see you later. Okay, that's fine. Because there's other people who will come and be like, hey, she's pretty cool. I'm going to hang out. Yeah. Yep, your audience will find you and they'll keep coming back. But you got to have that anchor show. You got to be consistent in order so they know when to come back, especially while you're just starting out. I think consistency is important all along, but particularly when you're just starting out. Because if somebody finds you and they're had a really good experience, they enjoyed the vibe, they bought something from you, you shipped it, they were happy with the way it was packed, they're happy with their product, but they go back the next week and you're not there, they don't know when to find you, you've just lost a customer. So consistency at the very beginning is so important. It drives me insane that so many people on here, you'll hear the advice, oh, just reschedule your show. Just reschedule it. It's fine. It's not fine. It's not. And I know I was on this kick last Friday if you're in my show, and then I rescheduled my show. I did. I'm a total hypocrite for that. I couldn't get that to work. A private show. My sister could see inventory, but she couldn't see me. Oh, I don't know. Message us. We can try to help you and see if we can figure it out. send me a DM and we can try. Maybe we can set up you can set up a private show. We can see if we can log in to your show. Send us a message. We're always happy to try to help. But being consistent, not rescheduling your shows. How do you do that? Just send us a DM, click on our name.
Click on the name, and then there'll be something that it gives you options in terms of viewing the profile or boosting.
Send a
there's a
message.
send a message.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can try. Let me see.
I said this last week that some of y'all, if you showed up for your 9 to 5 the way you show up for Whatnot, your 9 to 5 would fire you. You can't keep rescheduling your shows. There's exceptions. There's exceptions to everything. Look, I fell into the exceptions last Friday. My flight got canceled. Not technically canceled. There was a whole issue with my flight. I ended up having to drive and I had to move my show. So I'm not saying it's never acceptable, but there's exceptions, and then there's your normal operations. Don't let the exceptions take over your normal operations. That's the big thing. And so many people miss it. So many people are like, oh, I'll just reschedule my show. I don't feel like it today. I'll just reschedule my show. You're hurting your business every single time you do that. Do you know what? Normally on Friday nights, I'll have about 30 people. I had to reschedule this Saturday. You know how many, or Sunday. You know how many I had on Sunday? About 14. You can see what happens when you do that. There is a tangible effect when you're rescheduling shows. Do you think Batman would have been as good for Poppy? Saying the same bat channel, same time. Exactly. There it goes right there. Same bat channel, same bat time. It lets people know when to find you, where to find you, when to come back to. On your end or hers. Okay. I definitely need to pick a day and consistent on that day. Yeah, and at first maybe you're trying a few different days, but even because, and I've said this myself, you've got to test out different days and times to find what works the best for you. But while you're testing different days and times, have one anchor consistent show that you're doing regardless. So people get to know you, you're building your audience. Mine is Saturday at 4 and Fridays at 7 a.m. Those two shows, this is Wednesday, Fridays at 7 a.m. and Saturdays at 4. I think twice before ever having to change those. My Monday, Wednesdays, anything else that I schedule in, those aren't my anchor shows. Those may change. Those may only, exist for 6 months and then be replaced with something else. So always have your anchor while you're experimenting, and then you can change your anchor. But you're building up and that way you can tell people, the people who come back on your anchor show, you can say, hey, I've decided I'm going to move my show to this day and time. This is going to be my new weekly show, but you can build it up and then they follow you. It's not like you've just disappeared into thin air and they don't know where you are.
Well, Fire Thrifter, yes, but you also have to keep in mind that raid trains are more than anything for exposure. So you're exposed to a different audience. Most of the times, the event itself, you're following someone else's rules. It's not necessarily your show. You're following someone else's guidelines and telling you what to do and how to do it, how many giveaways to run, what kind of giveaways you have to run. So they're great for exposure, but not necessarily are going to be the best representation on who you are in your own show. Yeah,
I would. And look, I'm on raid trains. I love raid trains. I conduct raid trains. I participate in raid trains. But be careful. Do you have any of the CPA shows recorded? I do. All of my CPA shows are on YouTube. Thank you for asking about that. Everything we do, we put on YouTube, so you never have to buy anything to rewatch. That's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, but they're all on YouTube. Raid trains are the owners' people's, not exactly. DJ, and this is the thing with raid trains. I have nothing against them. Again, I'm on them. I conduct them, but you can't. Raid trains, do not build your whole business around raid trains. Some people do that. It is my opinion that is a bad business plan. You do you. I'm not telling anybody how to run their business. I'm just going to give you my perspective as somebody who has audited businesses, been in businesses, been a CFO at a business. Thank you so much. But building your business completely around raid trains means that you are building your business around somebody else's control, desires, and wishes. You are building your business around somebody else's hopes and dreams, not your own. build your business, create a business plan based on you, where you want to go, the products you sell, when you sell them, how you can sell them, and how you can source them. You build your business, then you layer in Raid Trains as a component to that, as an add-on to your business, as something to complement, to add some entertainment value to your business, not your full business. You will not grow a successful Whatnot business if all you do is Raid Trains. But if you use Raid Trains strategically in a way that complements what you do, then you're not worried that the Raid Trains are just fun. They're just add-ons. They're like you have a business and you do a company barbecue. Okay, that's what a Raid Train is like. A Raid Train is like, you're running a boutique store. Your focus is your boutique store, but then you're going to have an open house, or you're going to have a special events day. That's like what a Raid Train is. It's a special event day for your business. It's not your business model. My 2 cents. I got a little passionate about certain topics. I would love to try Raid Train as a smaller but good seller. But no, best way to get connected on Raid Trains, find the ones you like. We see them. There's Raid Trains every single day on Whatnot. Find the ones you like. The conductors are always listed on the thumbnails. Learn a little bit about it, and then message the conductor and introduce yourself. Like, hey, my name is such and such. I've been following your train all day. This is the type of items I sell. Like, send an actual, real thoughtful message. And it may take a couple of times to message those people.
And I also think that this is a great idea. Check CG Boomerang
Yes.
Echo. She's got that show every so often, every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Is the Raid Train discussion and 101, and she answers a lot of questions.
The CG Boomerang Echo almost is solely Raid Train conducting. She has a whole business model plan that eventually Raid Trains will be monetized in some sort of fashion. Not by charging to be on them. That's against terms of service. Can you take that down so I can talk? Thank you. But CG Boomerang, there she is. My husband just put her in the box. Raid Train Queen right there. I get to partner with her on the Big Kahunas train. Also, my CEO challenge is on her website. She is very community focused, and she runs some of the best Raid Trains. She is on it. Like, as an example of a conductor, you want to watch her on how to conduct or be on any of her trains. She has trains that are smaller, 30, 40, 50 people, to hundreds of people. We got upwards of 800 people on our last Big Kahunas train. So against terms of service to charge for a Raid Train, how are others getting away with it? They shouldn't be. It is 100% against terms of service to charge for a Raid Train. You shouldn't also be charging if someone wants to co-host, they should not charge you to co-host. Just don't do it, y'all. And the only way this is going to stop is if Whatnot cracks down on it, or we as buyers start to say no. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go back to the old school, say no to drugs, say no to paying for Raid Trains, say no to paying to be co-hosted. That's the only way these things are going to change. When the business dries up, when people quit paying for stuff, then you're very welcome, Livy. When people quit paying for stuff, then the people who are scamming and selling it, it'll dry up and they'll be like, okay, this isn't worth it. Yes, will they move on to something else? They probably will.
Right,
But-
Sassy? Let's go, Sassy. Come on.
she started. The other Sassy Vintage Chick is another. She's a seller on here, does vintage, but she also does really good chat shows. And a lot of her chat shows, at least they used to be, because I listened when I was a new seller, used to be geared towards new sellers. But it doesn't matter where you are in your journey.
And
Great information still.
she's a great source of information. She's a community host, so she won't steer you wrong.
So there are so many Raid Trains. Absolutely do not pay. And just keep in mind about your Raid Trains. You are very welcome. Keep in mind about Raid Trains too. I said they're a good complement to your business if they fit. The biggest mistake new sellers make is they get so eager to be on a Raid Train that they'll be like, oh, there's an animal Raid Train. Let me go buy all this animal stuff that I normally wouldn't sell, but I'm going to buy it for this Raid Train. And then you're stuck with a bunch of animal stuff that you don't normally sell, right? Make sure the Raid Train fits into what you're doing, that it fits your business model.
I know, right, Aaron?
Yes.
Yeah, people are charging to do that. That's just beyond.
Savage, it will be on. It is on YouTube. Thank you. I love me some animals too. But I made that mistake. I joined like a zoo raid train at one point. Do you know how long I had freaking animal stuff? Every night, I'm not just talking about like a little cat figurine. I'm talking about some crazy far out stuff that I never would have had. So, anyways, I don't know how we got on a whole like raid train thing, but that's kind of my thoughts on raid train. I offered $20 for them to shut their raid train down. They kept going. Oh no. But if we've derailed, it's okay. That's what this show is about, is getting derailed. Let's go ahead. I'm going to run this other pre-bid because I hate to let them sit there for too long in case somebody's waiting to get to work or something. And then we'll keep talking for a little bit. I got a little bit longer before I have to go to my 9 to 5 today. All right, we have this really cool. I called it a vessel because I wasn't sure exactly what other name to do it. It kind of looks like a vase, but there is a little broken off cork in there. I bet if you took a knife, you could pop that out. It is from Israel. It says it's on, let me turn it around. On the bottom, made in Israel. And it's just like a matte black vessel. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And that's running right now. You watch while getting ready for work. Yeah, at this time of day, that's what most people are doing.
Yeah, in some cases, those PDFs are not worth the money.
Shalom, thank you. Speaking of raid trains, really quick, in case you weren't here when I said it earlier, and now that I know Shalom is here, Shalom y'all and Grammy G, I forget all the numbers after Grammy G's name. Shalom and Grammy G are doing a new seller if you have less than 1,000 sales raid train. So we'll put them in the box again. So if you are a new seller looking to get on a raid train, message them. They are looking for people. You're going to retire in May. Congratulations. That's amazing. Grammy G, 55502. Thank you. I couldn't remember the numbers. I knew the name, just not the numbers. They're coming. Grammy G's right above you, reclaimed. And then Shalom y'all is 2 below you. We actually, Shalom, I don't think you had got here yet this morning. We actually brought up your page and showed everybody. So hold on. Somebody wrote something. Vanward Vintage. The mentor selling PDFs for big money is taking advantage of newbies. I'm probably 100% sure who you're talking about. That person has blocked me because I speak out publicly against that person. I will never name that person because I think that's bad etiquette to actually name somebody like that. But I do speak out against that person's practices. And if you know, you know.
Good morning, Bonnie.
I sell PDFs also. I don't think there's anything wrong with selling PDFs. It's totally okay. Do not sell PDFs that come from ChatGPT, like directly. Like you can use ChatGPT to help organize thoughts, help come up with ideas, help say things more eloquently than maybe you can say them.
Good morning, Miss Echo.
Good morning, CG Boomerang Echo. We were calling you out as the queen of raid trains. People were asking raid train questions, so we had to point them in your direction. But don't use a copy and paste. She named me in an email to another seller and labeled me as mean, rude, and jealous. Oh, we are talking about the same person. Yes, Sassy Vintage. I'm sure she did. I'm not surprised. I check up on her scam every now and then. Every person who buys has little to no sales. Absolutely, yes. Because, okay, if you're brand new here, I'm not going to name this person, but I'm just going to kind of give you some stuff to be cautious of. There are big sellers on here who come on and brag. I made so much money in 9 months and you can't too. If I can do it, you can do it, blah, blah, blah. First of all, they're giving you gross numbers, not net numbers. I don't care if they made $180,000 in a year or whatever it is. I can care less because you're not telling me you may have $10 left at the end of the day after that. You're not giving me the full truth. Okay. So, don't fall for just that. Number one. Number two, if somebody brags about using ChatGPT and that they're selling you stuff right out of ChatGPT, guess what? You can get ChatGPT for $20 and do that all yourself. You don't need to understand their special prompts, their thing. Their ChatGPT is made for them. They've programmed it. They've worked with their ChatGPT for their purposes, their business, not your business. The other thing, I'm going to go on. If they're charging you to co-host, do not pay somebody to co-host. They will disguise it as a sponsorship. They'll say, oh, buy the sponsorship and we'll bring you up and you could talk about your business. It is against terms of service to charge for co-hosting. It's against terms of service to try. Keep going. I'm on a roll now, man, because this person, and I'll be fully honest, the person I am speaking about has blocked me because I speak out like this. But they're a bigger seller. They come on frequently and they give bad information. And I'm not the only one. I have talked to multiple people who feel the exact same way that I do. I'm trying to think of all the things that go on. Overcharging for consultations. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking questions, for meeting with somebody, seeking advice from another seller. But if you're selling a consultation, where is your pedigree? What's your degree? Are you trained in this? I'm not going to go tell you how to perform surgery because I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you how to be successful on whatnot because I'm not a guru on being successful on whatnot. What I will tell you is here's some tried and true business practices that I have seen play out in my real life and my professional life. And I'm going to give you information that is not easily attained by going to facts and FAQs. If people are trying to sell you, this is how you do shipping. Guess what? Whatnot has that information for free. You can go to Whatnot and get all the FAQs. You can go to YouTube and get all of that for free. Just be careful. Be careful about what they're saying. Be careful if a seller is sitting there saying, I'm telling you to do this. Yeah, I don't have to do this because I have more experience, but this is how you should do it.
Two P's, absolutely. Even lawyers give you a consultation for free.
Exactly.
And that's exactly how I feel. When people ask me about the animations and when people ask me for different things, I don't mind sharing my knowledge. You know, I do this to help other people. I'm not in it for the money.
Yeah, and look, exactly right there, $125 to $150 for PDFs. Let me tell you, I sell PDFs. I'm not going to hide the fact that I sell PDFs, but you can buy an individual PDF for $5. You know what's beautiful about PDF? You create it once and then it's passive income because every time somebody buys it, I don't have to do a whole lot in order to earn the money. But does that mean that it makes it worth $300 or $150 or 70 something dollars? No, not unless there's enough content in there to really support it that doesn't just come from a copy and paste from ChatGPT. Like put some meat in there. I have nothing wrong with selling this stuff or people selling knowledge. If it's true knowledge, not just from ChatGPT, that you don't even know how to edit and fix and make useful to people. It just, good morning, Thrifty June Nicole. You caught me on a rant. I'm like all fired up now. Their paper cost $150. Just be careful. And the reason why these people continue to be successful is because people continue to support them. And I'm not going to tell anybody who to go be friends with and who to support and who not to. I'm just saying, think about all of us as buyers, all of us as consumers on Whatnot need to just be thoughtful about who we support and who we don't support and all of that stuff. I am all fired up today because this person drives me nuts, and we do keep tabs. Because I'll tell you what, if somebody blocks you, they probably block you because they're scared of you. Right off the bat, either you're an absolute jerk like a troll, needs to be blocked. But this person blocks people that threatens them. And then they sit there and talk about how they're all this and they're all that. But all they do is block anybody that can challenge their opinion. And so do I keep tabs? Absolutely, I keep tabs. Why? So I can come here and tell you guys, look, be careful of these things. My husband's mad at me. He's like, every time you pound on the table, the microphone picks it up. That type of person typically gets kicked off the app eventually. Eventually, people see through it. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Eventually, people will see through it. The problem, what really gets me fired up about it is that the focus audience for this seller is new sellers. So it's people hungry for information, people coming on this app, looking for information and they're being led down a wrong road. Can I single-handedly change that? No, I can't. And I know I don't try to get all caught up in other people's business. Trust me, I really try to focus on just me because that's where I need to focus. I need to focus on me and not worry about anything on the peripheral because that's not what's important to my business. But as somebody who conducts business in the same way, like I sell PDFs, me and this person operate in the same category. What that person does affect me. And I need to know what's going on in order to protect myself and to give truthful information here.
Look, it's as easy as this. We could have been selling you different ideas, and instead we just told you about this app that we're using,
Yeah.
and we're not
I'm not
gaining,
affiliated with
we're
them.
not gaining anything from it. We're just sharing the information. So
There are
it's up to you if you're inclined to follow it or not.
there are good, honest to God people on this app that are in chat shows that are going to give you good information. And I can name a bunch of them here. So we're hope sellers. That's right. The seller's selling a hope and a dream. Y'all don't, you can't, you go and buy a hope and a dream, you're bound to fail. You know what this takes? Cold, hard work, difficult grit, determination, showing up when you don't like to, when you don't feel like it. I was in tears yesterday morning. Honest to God, I sat at my kitchen table crying to my husband because I was so frustrated with Whatnot and I felt so discouraged. That's real life. That's real Whatnot. If they're going to sell you a hope and dream, it's no different than buying a lottery ticket. So if you want the odds of your business to succeed, to be the same odds as a lottery ticket, then go buy hopes and dreams from them. But if you're willing to put in the hard work, you will be successful eventually.
Good morning, Druid Thrift Nicole. Good morning, B Square. Good morning, Miss Kate.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody.
People who say, oh yeah, just follow me and you'll be successful, or do it this way and you'll be successful. There's not just one way to do Whatnot. There are many ways to do Whatnot, and you decide that as a business owner. You try this, this, and this till you figure out the formula that works for you. Now, are there sound business principles that businesses have operated on for hundreds of years? Yes. Those are things you should be paying attention to, are sound business principles, and then figuring out, how does that affect me, or does it affect me? It's a very emotional roller coaster here. And oh, I don't know. I can go on and on. I probably need to calm down. Probably just need to chill. I see we have some pre-bids. We'll get to those in just a second.
Hey, before we do that, I want to show this to B Square. Check this out. I'm going to put this for
My
you.
husband's hijacking my show.
I'm hijacking it totally. Let me show you this. This is pretty cool.
I don't know what we're doing. Oh, my husband has to show his
Buy
thing.
seller link card. It is amazing. All your social media, your website, your selling platforms in one card. How convenient.
Share your seller profile, social media, and contact info, all with one tap.
All right, my husband had to show for it's just a line of not payment. Yes. Tober, hold on. I just saw a comment from Tober who made an excellent point. It's hard doing the right thing and seeing others continually abuse this app with no consequences. This is what got me so upset yesterday, Tober. There had just been a couple series of events.
It is very similar. We customize it with the logo or design that you want, and we can put in something similar to Linktree, or if you have Linktree, I can put it in there.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's like, so I was talking about this earlier. We imitated Adopt Card and then we innovated by customizing it to make it different. Tober, that's the exact thing I was crying about yesterday morning. I was so upset with my husband. Choco Doc, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is that there's been a couple of things happen in my Whatnot, my business this last week that I felt that I wasn't fitting in. I love discounts. Lysandra and I are friends. And so I texted her yesterday morning and I'm like, I'm having such a rough day. I was really feeling that I didn't fit in on Whatnot, that if I'm not goofy or silly or dressing up in costumes or doing something illegal or wrong, then I'm not in. Then where do I fit? I am very business-minded, focused, type A, driven, but I don't fit the mold of dress up, goofy, silly. And I was struggling. That there was something that I wanted, something very bad that I wanted to happen. And it wasn't me. I didn't get picked for it. And the person that got picked for this role was somebody who publicly talks about things, misabusing shipping. And it hurt me. I felt very like that's kind of what set it off. And I started feeling very upset. But you know what? All the people who loved me and surrounded me, they were like, you do you. And I preach this. Look, I preach every Friday. You do you, focus on you, stay in your lane. And it's easy to say it, but I understand the emotions that go with it. I understand that this is difficult to be in our lane. because all of this stuff is happening. It's like high school. I got reminded yesterday, you know what? It's like high school. Just focus on you, do your thing, get your good grades, work hard, right? Look for the end goal. That's why you don't need them. Thank you so much, Southern Charm. Y'all, thank you very much for all your kind comments. I do appreciate it. So, but I say most of this, I know these feelings exist. I'm not the only one who feels this way. I know there's a lot of us that feel like this at times in our businesses. It's highly social and it is exhausting. I
Good
100%
morning,
agree.
Empress.
Thank you so much, Daisy Lane. So yeah, it's an emotional journey for all of us. Thrifty Drew Nicole earlier said that it's the same thing that she has seen and she's been upset on her shows. But not to harp on this other seller. Just, I guess I'm going to wrap this up before we do these last pre-bids and head out for the day. We just have to be conscious of who we support and speak out. Don't be afraid to speak out. We don't need to publicly name people. Aaron's here. I love that. We don't have to publicly speak out about people. We can be kind, we can be nice, but we can also put our foot down and not accept things that are wrong on the app. It's possible to do both. Thank you so much, A Monster Mama. All right, we're going to do these last pre-bids, and then we are going to go find somebody to raid. So, honey, while I'm running these, will you find somebody who's on? Nice to those who deserve it. And I just ignore the ones who don't. I agree, Sassy Vintage Chick. I try to go out of my way for people who deserve it, and the ones that don't, you do you, right? Okay, we're gonna run these really quick. We've got this little basket. It is the most adorable little basket. We've got this little guy here. He has a handle, and look it's actual like a real basket. You can hide little goodies in there. It is so stinking cute. We're gonna run that for $1, $4.50 shipping. I am vocal. I have had to learn, Yellow Fox, to not say things in shows. I have been very vocal, and as far as I know, I've only been blocked by like 2 people. There may be more that I just don't know, but Grammy G, thank you so much. But I have found now that I don't have to be the whatnot police vocally. Like, I don't have to.
Coastal. Yes, Winnie the Pooh basket, absolutely.
It is like a Winnie the Pooh. It doesn't create goodwill when I'm constantly trying to correct people in a chat, and not correct each other, but like a seller. Like if I see a seller blatantly doing something, I might message them. That's another one. I did see somebody and they blocked me too because I sent them a private message. But I'll speak out on my own platform. This is my platform, and I will speak out, and whoever chooses to listen, listens. And if you don't, you don't, and that's okay. So I will speak out in this arena. I normally don't go into chats and say a whole lot negatively. It just never works out well. For me, anyways. Okay, we've got this little shoe. Now, this pretty girl has some paintwear. Good morning. Blocked by 2 people. You're not even, I know, I need to try harder, don't I? All right. This is one of those little planter shoes. It is porcelain. There's paintwear, so I can't quite make out that writing. Maybe you can. And on the bottom, maybe it's a made in Japan thing down there. It's very, very faint. No chips or cracks. Yeah, I probably do need to try harder. The thing is because I won't name them. Souvenir Atlantic City. Thank you so much, Kate. That's what it says. There you guys go. That's what Souvenir Atlantic City. Grammy, thank you so much. That is going to you. We're going to run through these pre-bids, you guys. This one I absolutely love because this is sweet. This is a Goebel and is the doctor figure. Look at the little boy playing doctor on his doll with, I was going to say 1 leg. No, there's 2 legs. It's just crossed. It does have the markings down there. It says doctor and it says Goebel right there. A little crazing going on. Probably needs to be cleaned up. I'm always afraid to scrub these things too hard. Can you tag the new seller train people? Yes. Will you please put Shalom and Grammy G in the chat? Who we're putting in the chat right now, they run a new seller raid train. I think it's going to be monthly on Tuesdays. Contact them and they'll give you all the details. Mama's Couch, thank you so much. That is a good one. He's adorable.
Thank you.
And then we have this final little ring box. This is a metal ring box with some charms. I don't know what kind of metal it is. It's not flimsy, but it kind of tings, like a tinny type ting. And that is velvet. It's lined on the inside. It has pretty little gems. They're all there as far as I can tell. I don't think any are missing. And then it's lined on the inside of the lid too, with like a deep purple, dark blue type velvety. And that's running right now. Thank you for your bids. Zimpress, thank you so much. All right, you guys, we are going to head out. I got all riled up today. I'm ready to go. I should like go for a run or something now. I'm like, all my adrenaline's pumping. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. We will be on tonight. My husband is going to sell jewelry, his debut on Whatnot. Thank you for your guys' purchase. If you're purchasing anything, thank you. Live seller links, anything like that, just DM your email address and we'll get that going right away. With that, we're going to go see TLC Mama Bear. She is in Puerto Rico and she has the most beautiful backdrop and she sells amazing snacks. So,
And I think she's at the waterfalls today.
oh, awesome. Have a great day, you guys.